This is WKYT This Morning.
Welcome aboard and good morning from WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It's Friday.
Yeah, here we are.
Friday, March 25th.
And now, coming up on 6:30, police are looking for the man seen robbing a veteran of donations right outside of a Lexington store.
A Lexington man gets a rude awakening. What police say they found inside his home this morning.
And can the Big Blue fans pack Rupp Arena? It's a question, and a lot of folks are, of course, cheering on the UK women's team. They'll be playing in the Sweet 16 round in their hometown tonight.
Much cooler start this morning in the 40s and a couple of 50s back toward the southeast. Once we hit the afternoon, it's not rising that much more. Upper 40s, lower 50s. So much cooler day in store, but it jumps right back up for the weekend. And when's the rain arrive for Easter? I'll have that coming up.
And let's get right to the news. A veteran who was just trying to help out other veterans ended up being robbed at a Lexington store.
Yeah, he was collecting money outside the New Circle Road Walmart when police say someone pulled a gun on him. The veteran fought back and was injured in the process. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at that Walmart with reaction from witnesses.
Good morning, Michelle. The veteran's daughter says that it just does not get any lower than this. You can understand why she says that when you consider what happened here. The veteran was dragged by a robber who then held a gun to his head. And for what? Well, the veteran's daughter says that the person was just stealing $80 to $120 that the veteran was volunteering to raise to help other veterans. The brazen robbery happened outside the Walmart here at New Circle Road and Russell Cave Road yesterday afternoon. The veteran was outside the store volunteering his time to collect donations for a veterans outreach program when a man in a truck pulled up to the curb. The robber jumped out and grabbed the donation jar, but he didn't get far because it was screwed to the table. The robber then tried dragging the table toward his truck, but the veteran was holding on. He let go when the man put a gun to his head. The gunman then threw the table in his extended red pickup truck and sped off. The veteran's friends are disgusted that the bold robber targeted, of all things, a veteran.
And somebody has put his life at risk and, put their freedom at risk.
The veteran was injured during the robbery. We're told that an ambulance took him to UK Hospital. He's been there through the night, but we're told he is expected to recover. I've been speaking with police this morning, and they tell me that they still have not been able to identify the crook responsible for this callous crime. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
A Kentucky mother and her two children who police say were murdered in their home will be laid to rest today. Louisville police say Brad Hettinger killed his wife Billy and the couple's two children, 5-year-old Colin and 4-year-old Courtney, before killing himself. The couple recently lived in Lexington and Billy grew up in Nicholasville. Funerals for Billy Hettinger and her children are this morning in Nicholasville. They will be buried at Camp Nelson National Cemetery. Now, police are looking for a man who tried to rob a Jessamine County bank. It happened at the Fifth Third Bank off Harrodsburg Road near Bella Reef Plaza. The sheriff's office says a man walked in and handed a teller a note demanding money, but they say he left the bank without getting any cash. Deputies released this surveillance picture of the suspect.
Well, then there's this story. This morning it was a rude wake-up for a Lexington homeowner. New this hour, police have arrested a man who they say broke into a home and then fell asleep. This happened about 4 o'clock this morning on East Loudon Avenue near Marcellus Drive. Police say a drunk man broke out a window of a home and then got inside, made a mess in there, before then just passing out in a chair. Easy arrest for the police, and he is now charged with burglary.
A UK football signee is recovering after being stabbed while on spring break. Jordan Bonner said he went home to Cleveland last weekend to see his infant son. He told WJW-TV that during the visit, someone stabbed him 6 times in the chest, abdomen, and back. Police have made an arrest in the case, and Bonner played 2 years at a junior college in Oklahoma, and he's committed to playing at UK for this fall.
Surveillance video has now been released showing that car plunging into the Ohio River last week. I want to warn you that you may find the video disturbing and may want to look away. The video was taken from a distance. Police say the car fell off of the I-275 bridge between Campbell County, Kentucky and Cincinnati after it was hit by a semi. Police think one person was inside the car. Dangerous river conditions have kept crews from being able to get the car out of the water so far. Campbell County Police Police say a water rescue team will try to remove the car tomorrow. The Kentucky House has rejected the state Senate's budget proposal. The House is controlled by Democrats, and they did not agree to the changes to the budget made by the Republican-led Senate. The biggest difference between the two chambers is the $650 million in spending cuts, including to higher education, that Governor Bevin has proposed. A committee appointed to work out a compromise will be meeting again tonight. They met into the late night hours last night. Both chambers are hoping to have a deal worked out by the middle of next week.
A hearing today could decide if owners of the Bluegrass Stockyards will be able to rebuild on a controversial site. The Stockyards in Lexington was destroyed in a massive fire in January. Owners have proposed building a new stockyard on Ironworks Pike near the Fayette-Scott County line. But some have raised concerns because the new building would sit on top of the aquifer that supplies Georgetown with drinking water. The Herald Leader says the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Board of Adjustment will have a hearing today to decide if the owners of the stockyards can move forward. So it's a big game for the Big Blue Nation. The UK women's team takes on Washington tonight in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and certainly they're hoping that fans will pack the house. Pretty much a home game for the Cats. The Sweet 16 matchup is at Rupp Arena. WKYT's Mike Byer is there live early this morning with details on how you can help
That's right,
pack
guys.
the house.
UK women are hoping to walk out to a sea of blue tonight when they play the 7th-seeded Washington Huskies in the Sweet 16. Now, this will mark only the second time these two schools have met in women's basketball, and trust me, this is one game you are not going to want to miss. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. and yes, there are still plenty of tickets available. They start at just $30 for a single game. All session tickets are $54. Now, tickets can be purchased at the Rupp Arena box office or at ncaa.com/WBB tickets. Now, Wildcat, the official mascot of UK Athletics, has been going around the city this week giving away free tickets, which were purchased by head coach Matthew Mitchell. The tickets are lower-level seats for tonight's session featuring the Wildcats and Huskies before top-seeded Notre Dame squares off against Stanford. To see where Wildcat will be next giving away these free tickets, follow both the Wildcat and Coach Mitchell's Twitter pages. Now, UK students receive free admission into sessions that Kentucky plays in. They just need to bring their student ID to the Rupp Arena will call located at the High Street entrance beginning at 6 p.m. Now, Coach Cal recently tweeted out encouraging all of BBN to pack Rupp Arena tonight, which means one thing only. Make sure you bring your dancing shoes. It's the Wildcats and Huskies tonight here at Rupp Arena. 7 p.m. is the tip-off. The winner will play either Notre Dame or Stanford on Sunday in the Elite Eight. Live at Rupp Arena, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, Mike, thank you very much, and we'll see how it goes, but certainly pulling for those Kentucky women tonight,
yes,
right?
and I hope everyone shows up that can go.
All right, what started out as a joke between a Mercer County high school football player and his coach quickly took off thanks to social media.
Yeah, Grayson Blevins is a junior, and he was looking for a date for the prom. His coach took a bet that if Grayson could get 1,000 retweets, he could ask the coach's fiance to the big dance. The coach said he didn't think it was possible, so within a few minutes, he was wrong. The tweet went viral.
No, and that's on me for underestimating the power of social media and the resilience of my kids. Just to be honest with you. It's funny, I didn't think in a million years that he'd get 1,000 retweets, much less do so in like 28 hours.
Oh, social media. Even former UK football and current NFL star Jacob Tamme retweeted Grayson. Coach Cox says on prom night it might end up being dinner for free. I think that's probably it.
All right, heads up here. Let's pause just for a minute. A breaking news alert from WKYT and some sad news just in. A U.S. official says at least 2 Americans were killed in the Brussels blast. The names of those victims have not been released. Now, we do know that a Lexington native and her husband, Stephanie and Justin Schultz, were in the Brussels airport when 2 bombs went off, and they have not been heard from since. We also know that a brother and sister from New York are also still missing, so we do not know the identities at this point as to who has died. The U.S. official did not say if the Americans died at the airport or at the subway, where there was this other blast hours after Tuesday's airport bombings. Again, a report that 2 Americans have been confirmed killed in the attacks in Brussels. Stay with WKYT, of course, and WKYT.com as we'll keep you updated on this story. Our time now is 6:39, and let's check traffic, see how things are going. Here's Officer Don. Don?
Well, Hey, good morning, Bill. Inbound Richmond Road, the left turn lane of the inner loop of the circle is backing up already this morning. Had a stalled car there that got us off to sort of a bad start, so that's something to be aware of. Let's get a look at Lexington traffic flow. As you can see around the city, not a whole lot happening. It's pretty quiet right now. Roads are a little wet. That, of course, will impact us throughout the morning, which takes us to our drive times. From Nicholasville, we're still looking good. From Versailles across the county line, things are normal for now, and no major problems right now. From Winchester, it's 23 minutes. From Richmond, about 33. Now back to you.
Okay, Don, thank you very much. We're still trying to absorb and find out more information about these two Americans that have been confirmed killed, apparently, in the Brussels attacks. But sad news just coming in on that.
Yeah, and definitely stay with WKYT all day to keep updated on this story.
Keep it here now. We have more coming up on WKYT on your Friday morning, and we're rolling up on 6:40 now.
Yeah, boring old bottle of ranch just sold for $1,000, but when you hear why, it may not seem so insane.
My wife would pay $1,000 for a bottle of ranch. I have no doubt about that. So it's not that far-fetched for me. Easter weekend, we get from the cool temperatures today to the 60s and maybe even 70s for the Easter weekend. But what about the rain? I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Pretty chilly this morning, as some of us in the upper 30s, most of us staying there in the 40s, but as we kind of approach the afternoon, it's really not going to rise that much more. We're at 47 now in Corbin. Corbin, the cooler air is still trying to edge its way down into Laurel County and off into Whitley County too. So just keep in mind that Knox, Whitley, Laurel County, it's not there just yet, and that goes for Jackson too. But it's still pretty cool. 42 degrees there in Lexington. It was at 46 when I walked in early this morning. Let me take you hour by hour in toward the afternoon, and here's what you can expect. By the time we hit noontime, we'll still be in the mid-40s. By the afternoon time, 4 to 5 p.m. when we actually hit our high, it's upper 40s, lower 50s. It's a pretty cool day in store. You'll need a light coat before you take off early this morning. You may need one later on this afternoon too, especially if we hold on to the cloud cover. The cloud cover, man, it always makes it feel that much cooler. So I do believe mostly cloudy skies will stick with us. At least the winds are calming down. Winds were whipping yesterday, anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour. We get into Saturday. Now, Saturday morning, we start off fairly chilly. I mean, if you're one of those walkers, runners, know that you're starting off in the low to mid 30s. But getting into the afternoon, it's beautiful weather. I mean, we're talking low to mid 60s, maybe even some upper 60s down south. And not only that, we stay dry. So Saturday is the day guaranteed that we will not have any rain and that you can get all your plans, your Easter egg hunts, your outdoor plans, whatever it may be. You'll be able to get it done on Saturday. Sunday, however, is a little bit of a different story. Starting off early in the morning, if you're heading out to church early in the morning, you're talking 50s. Get in toward noontime Easter egg hunts, maybe some lunch. You're talking about temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s. And then we hit the afternoon. We'll be there in the 70s. Not only that, but watch what happens. 3 to 4 p.m., and this has looked this way the past few model runs. 3 to 4 p.m. before that looks like the best chance to stay dry. So if you're trying to make plans and you had to put plans on paper right now, do it before 3 to 4 p.m. Once we get after that and heading off toward the evening hours, that's when the widespread rain moves on in. So it's really late in the day that we actually see that rain. Much like what we saw yesterday, we had some showers move through and then the storms came much later. James Starr sent that one in of the clouds moving through Lexington. Here's a cool picture from yesterday. I was able to go out toward Baker Intermediate, and boy, did we have a blast. We had about 100 kids sitting in there, and we had a good time, a really good time. So I appreciate you guys having me, and I think they had a good time too, asking all their career day questions. So it was a blast. Thanks once again, Winchester, for having me. Your 7-day forecast. Remember, guys, Saturday looks dry. Sunday looks like the rain moves in after 3 to 4 p.m. So if you're trying to make your plans and you want to be sure 100%, I would do it on Saturday as opposed to doing it later on Sunday. But they did give me a shirt. They hooked me up with a shirt. Baker Intermediate, the Bulldog State right there. Pretty cool, isn't it?
That's pretty good.
It's my size
you love that.
Well,
you're like a little kid.
You could use it for pajamas since you were in the floor there.
Well, yeah.
Taking a nap. And
they wore me out, man. They said, let's take a picture. I said, I'm laying down if I'm taking a picture. Let's do it. But we had a good time.
Nothing wears you out.
Yeah, right. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Mike. It's 6:46 now on WKYT.
A Texas man just paid $1,000 for a bottle of ranch, but when you hear why, it may not seem so insane.
Yeah, right. For the last 5 years, the household brand of salad dressing sat in a wooden case in a Cane Rosso pizza over there in Dallas. The restaurant has one rule when it comes to their pizza: no ranch, unless you're willing to spend $1,000. But when a local humane society was destroyed in a fire, more than 70 dogs were killed, unfortunately, and the restaurant held a fundraiser and donated the infamous bottle of ranch.
Nothing's ever going to take away the pain that they felt, but I'm glad that we are able to help monetarily, take some of that stress away from them.
The man who bought the ranch says he won't open it. Instead, he plans to frame it as a reminder to help others in times of need. Can you imagine if he holds on to it, it might get even more value and at some point be used for good again, right?
Could happen.
There you go. A lot of people love their ranch dressing.
I know I do. I have to put it on my pizza. I guess I couldn't eat at that place, huh?
Right. Without $1,000. 6:47 is the time on WKYT on your Friday morning.
More news when we come back. Welcome back to WKYT this morning. We have a breaking news alert. U.S. officials are confirming at least 2 Americans have been killed in the attacks earlier this week in Brussels.
Now, the names of those victims have not been released, but just a couple of minutes ago, Secretary of State John Kerry spoke in Brussels, and he mentioned that one of the victims was an American personal trainer on his way home from Brussels. There's still no word this morning on the fate of a Lexington native and her husband who are missing following the attacks. Stephanie and Justin Schultz were both in Brussels at the airport when the 2 blasts went off. We now know that a brother and sister from New York were also missing since Tuesday's attacks. CBS is reporting at the moment it is that couple that is confirmed to be dead this morning. It is the brother and sister from New York. Now, we're going to continue to follow these developments, keep you up to date on WKYT and WKYT.com, but obviously now this is all redrawn with the perspective of direct American casualties.
It's just a terrible story.
It really is.
So sad.
And we'll continue to follow up and as that family looks for that woman from Lexington and her husband.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you up to date.
A veteran who was just trying to help other veterans was robbed at a Lexington store.
Rodney Brock was collecting money for Veterans Outreach at the New Circle Road Walmart. Police say a man drove up and tried to steal the donation jar. What the robber did not know is that the jar was screwed to a table. Brock tried to intervene, but his daughter says the man pulled out a gun and threw the entire table into his truck. Brock's daughter says her father was injured while trying to stop the robber. He spent the night at UK Hospital and is expected to be okay.
Well, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray introduced the city's first female fire chief. Chief Kristen Chilton has been with the Lexington Fire Department for 23 years. She took over as chief immediately and is on the job this morning. Chilton has a bachelor's degree from Transylvania University, a master's degree from EKU, and is certified as an emergency medical technician as well as hazardous materials specialist. A lot of training, a lot of experience, and again, the first woman fire chief in Lexington.
Great to see women in leadership roles. All morning we've been telling you about tonight's huge UK women's game.
Need some leadership on that court tonight, right? The Cats are in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, and they'll be taking on Washington tonight at Rupp Arena. WKYT's Christy Thomas has a preview of the matchup for us. Christy.
The Cats are in their 5th Sweet 16 in the last 7 years, and for the very first time, their road to the Final Four stays right here in Lexington in Rupp Arena. You would think that that would be a huge advantage for Kentucky, but Matthew Mitchell says just being in Rupp Arena won't get it done.
You know, the home court didn't do much for us last year versus Dayton, so a court doesn't really do it for you. Didn't do much for Arizona State, didn't do much for Maryland. You know, I mean, it's you have to play. Would it be exciting for us if we get rolling and playing well? Could we have some added juice in the building because it's us? Of course.
It's only the second time these two teams have ever met, with Washington winning their first and only meeting back in 2002. It's an Elite Eight on the line tonight in Rupp Arena at 7 o'clock. In Lexington, Christy Thomas, WKYT.
And good luck to the UK women's. Now, a little girl in Southern California has mastered some NBA moves on the court. Her mother says Cadence has the work ethic of an all-star. She's only 6 years old, but check her out. She's got those moves. Her basketball page on Instagram got a lot of attention, even from ESPN. She was recently featured on the network's top 10 plays of the day.
I was ecstatic, you know, I was really excited. I was like, wow, you know, I mean, we've been working so hard.
Now, Kaden says she wants to be the first female point guard in the NBA. What do you think of that, Bill?
All right, good luck, you know, an early start, right? 6:54 on WKYT this morning. You can find the latest anytime on WKYT.com. We're urgently updating the situation for you now as we have this breaking news of a U.S. official saying at least 2 Americans were killed in the Brussels blasts. Secretary of State John Kerry is there, says he grieves for the victims. Again, the information that we have at the moment, it points toward the victims being those who are from New York. Now, there's this family from Kentucky, as you know, that has been traveling to Brussels to search for a missing Kentucky woman. And so we, and of course, her husband, who is originally from the Gatlinburg area. So we'll continue to follow up on that story as well. They have not heard or seen any information about them since Tuesday's terror attacks. We're also going to be staying on top of the state budget negotiations, which are going on in Frankfort. It may go into the weekend. The sticking point is $650 million in cuts, including to higher education. The governor is calling for the cuts. The House, though, is standing its ground, at least at this point. So we'll see where that goes as they try to hash that out, and it looks like it could go into the weekend. We'll be following the fans and the fun as the Kentucky women play in the NCAA Sweet 16 tonight. They face the Washington Huskies when the game tips off at 7 at Rupp Arena. A hometown advantage for Kentucky. Again, follow us on social media and WKYT.com. Also trending this morning is our story of that Mercer County teenager who may be taking his coach's fiancée to the prom. It's all because of a Twitter stunt that took on a life of its own. Cute story. And on Kentucky.com, controversy in Versailles about the site for a new cookie plant that is set to be a big employer over there. CBS This Morning, coming up at 7 with your eye-opener and the latest from around the world. Plus, we'll have local updates. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest, WKYT.com.
Yeah, the rest of the day we're going to be in the upper 40s, lower 50s. A much cooler day in store, but it's also much drier. We get into your weekend. 60s, mid-60s Saturday looks great. Now, heading off into Easter Day, sunrise service during the morning hours, you're just fine. It's really after 3 to 4 p.m. that we start to see some rain move on in. So make those plans early on in the day if you're going to do it on Sunday.
All right. Thank you so much. And nobody is more up to date than you to start your day. And we thank you for being with WKYT this morning.
Have a great weekend.